It doesn't start when she stops texting back. It doesn't start when she tells you, "You're a nice guy, but I just don't feel it." It doesn't even start when she cheats, leaves, or slowly turns you into a roommate she barely looks at. It starts way earlier, in rooms you don't even think about anymore. You're 7 years old, watching your father fold into himself every time your mother raises her voice. He shrinks. He apologizes. He laughs it off. He calls it keeping the peace. You call it normal. Or you're 9, sitting at the kitchen table while your mother rants for an hour about how men are useless, how your father never steps up, how all men are the same. She doesn't notice you absorbing every word like a sponge. You're not a man yet, but your nervous system is already learning what it means to be one. Or you're 14, finally telling a girl you like her. She laughs, tells her friends, and for weeks the hallway becomes a tunnel of humiliation. Your brain doesn't file that as one bad experience. It files it as, never open up first, never show your cards, never be that vulnerable again. In those moments, you make tiny silent decisions you don't remember making. Don't be like Dad. Don't be the guy women laugh at. Don't be the man who gets blamed for everything. You don't realize it, but you're already building him. The man no woman respects. He doesn't come from nowhere. He is stitched together from fear, shame, and tiny humiliations that never got processed, only buried. You tell yourself you're just easygoing. You tell yourself you're just not emotional. You tell yourself you're just not like other guys. That's the story. The nervous system knows better. What looks like chill on the outside is often just avoidance on the inside. What sounds like "I don't care" is often just "I care so much that I can't risk seeing the truth." And here is the brutal reality almost no one will say out loud. The man no woman respects is usually a boy who was never allowed to respect himself. So he learned to survive instead. He learned to be useful. He learned to be quiet. He learned to be entertaining. He learned to be such a good guy. He never learned how to be a man he can stand to look in the mirror. That's where this actually starts. Not in her reaction, in your relationship with yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself first, every interaction with a woman becomes a negotiation. You're constantly trading away pieces of yourself in the hope of not being abandoned. You think you're doing what it takes. She feels something completely different. This man is not on his own side. How can I safely be on his? This is the psychology of the man no woman respects. And if you recognize yourself in what comes next, you don't need more comfort. You need clarity sharp enough to cut through years of self-deception. Because as long as you lie to yourself, your life will keep lying back. You're not unlucky. You're not cursed. You're not too nice for this world. You are running a pattern. Let's pull it into the light. It usually begins with one core belief you don't say out loud. If I show people who I really am, they will leave. Psychology has a simple word for this: shame. Not "I did something bad," but "I am something bad." Shame is a social emotion. It wires you to avoid anything that might get you rejected by your tribe. So you adjust, you bend, you twist. In attachment theory, they call it anxious attachment or fawning behavior, sacrificing your own needs to keep others close. You call it being a good guy, so you perform. You perform on dates. You perform in relationships. You perform in conversations. You scan her face like a lie detector, trying to see what she likes, what she hates, what she's about to pull away from. You don't answer honestly. You answer strategically. You say you're okay with things you're absolutely not okay with. You say, "It's fine," when your chest is tight. You say whatever you want so often that you forget what you actually want. You think this will keep you safe. What it actually does is make you invisible. On paper, this looks like being kind. In psychology, this is called self-abandonment. And here is the ugly part. People don't respect you when you abandon yourself. They might feel sorry for you. They might use you. They might keep you around because you're convenient. But respect? No. Respect is not a reaction to your pain. It's a reaction to your standards. You can't be a doormat and expect anyone to look at you like a door. There are a few very specific patterns that turn a man into someone women can't respect, even if they like him, even if they care. You might see one. You might see all of them. First, the man who negotiates his own value. This is the guy who treats his worth like a discount code. He over-explains himself. He over-apologizes. He lowers his standards as soon as he thinks he'll lose someone. He says, "I know you're busy," when she's ignored him for days. He says, "I understand," when she cancels last minute for the 4th time. He says, "It's totally fine," when she flirts with other guys in front of him because he's scared that saying, "That's not okay with me," would make him look insecure. He calls it understanding. His nervous system calls it fear of abandonment. In behavioral psychology, this looks exactly like intermittent reinforcement. You get treated well just often enough to stay addicted, and badly just often enough to stay anxious. Your brain confuses anxiety with love, so you tolerate what you swore you never would. You keep rewriting your own boundaries in pencil, letting other people erase and redraw them at will. She sees that. She might not put language to it, but her body registers. This man will sell himself out to keep me. He will tolerate behavior I do not even respect in myself. Respect does not survive that. Second, the man who hides behind nice. He's kind, thoughtful, generous. Until you look closer. He never says what he really thinks. He never disagrees. He never risks a conflict. When he's hurt, he smiles it away. When he's angry, he swallows it, then resents quietly. When he wants something, he waits for her to guess. He thinks this is how to be a good man in a world that constantly talks about bad men. On a nervous system level, he's running the fawn response. Avoid threat by pleasing it. Neuroscience is clear on this. Systems that stay in chronic fawning or appeasing mode burn out. The body carries stress, the mouth refuses to speak. So he gets passive-aggressive. He sulks. He withdraws intimacy or uses jokes to express what he's too scared to say directly. Women feel the gap between his words and his energy. He says, "It's all good." His body says, "I'm full of resentment, but I don't know how to own it like a man, so I'll leak it instead." You can't respect someone who weaponizes sweetness instead of learning how to stand up. Third, the man who mistakes control for strength. He sees everything above and says, "That's not me. I'm not weak. I'm alpha." He raises his voice when he feels powerless. He micromanages her friendships, clothing, social media. He calls it standards. It's actually fear, dressed in dominance. Research on insecure attachment shows a clear pattern. Some people respond to fear of abandonment with clinginess. Others respond with control and distance. It's the same wound, wearing a different outfit. This guy thinks women should respect him because he's firm, decisive, doesn't take crap. But respect and fear are not the same thing. Fear says, "I don't cross him because I don't want the fallout." Respect says, "I trust him because he's consistent with his values, even when nobody's watching." Women might fear this man. They might obey. They might stay. But their nervous system never relaxes around him. Their respect is survival-based, not admiration-based. And survival-based respect is just submission. It never lasts without resentment. Here is the part you won't like. None of these patterns started with women. They started with you and the way you handled your own pain. Your lack of self-respect is not her fault. Your people-pleasing is not her fault. Your explosive anger is not her fault. She might trigger it. She does not create it. These patterns are already inside you before she arrives. She is not the problem. She is the mirror. That's why you can change cities, change partners, change apps, change your wardrobe, change your beard style, and still end up in the same emotional place. Disrespected and ignored, not taken seriously. Different face, same story. Because the common denominator is always you. Modern dating apps didn't teach you to abandon yourself. They just made it easier to see the effects. So what is actually happening inside the man no woman respects? Underneath the habits, there are 3 psychological pillars. 1. Chronic self-betrayal. 2. Learned helplessness. 3. Externalized blame. Chronic self-betrayal is what happens when you consistently choose short-term comfort over long-term self-respect. You say yes when you mean no because you don't want her to be upset. You say nothing when you're hurt because you don't want to be dramatic. You stay where you are not wanted because you don't want to face emptiness. You're not stupid. You're avoiding pain. But every time you betray yourself, your nervous system notices. I guess my needs really don't matter. I guess we really are not worth defending. I guess disappointment is normal. Neuroscience has a term for this: prediction error. Your brain updates its internal model from your actions, not your affirmations. So you can tell yourself, "I'm a king" in the mirror. But if you behave like a beggar in relationships, your body will believe the behavior, not the sentence. Learned helplessness shows up when you've been in patterns for so long that your brain quietly decides, "Nothing I do makes a difference." This was first seen in animals exposed to unavoidable shocks. After a while, they stopped even trying to escape, even when the door was open. Humans do the same thing emotionally. You try something, it fails. You try again, it fails. You get hurt enough times that you stop trying differently. Instead, you numb out. You scroll, you complain, you turn your life into a commentary thread about what's wrong with everyone else. You become a critic of the game instead of a player. But here's the twist. Women do not respect helplessness in a man who is not actually trapped. They may pity it. They may mother it. They may enable it. They do not respect it. And externalized blame is what keeps the whole structure intact. It's women. It's feminism. It's dating apps. It's hypergamy. It's social media. There are real structural issues in modern dating, yes. But notice this. Blaming all of that gives you zero leverage to change anything. It makes you feel righteous. It doesn't make you powerful. One quote nails this. You can have results or excuses, but not both. You can have a story about how no woman respects you, or you can dismantle the parts of you that no one can respect. You don't get both. So what does a man women quietly, deeply respect actually look like? Not the cartoon you see online. He's not perfect. He's not fearless. He's not a robot who never feels insecure or jealous. He's something much rarer. He is on his own side. When he says he'll do something, he does it or owns it if he fails. When he's hurt, he says it without turning it into a performance. When his boundaries are crossed, he doesn't explode and he doesn't fold. He holds. He is willing to be alone rather than stay where he has to abandon himself. That is terrifying at first. Your nervous system will scream that you're going to die. That's how deep your attachment wiring goes. To your brain, rejection feels like death. But if you don't walk through that, you will keep trading respect for proximity. And the invoice on that trade is brutal. Confusion, resentment, and a life where you're constantly asking, "Why am I never enough?" while ignoring the fact that you are treating yourself like you're not enough. Here's the hardest sentence in this entire script. You keep ending up with people who don't respect you because deep down, you agree with them. Until that changes, nothing else will. So how do you change it? Not by memorizing lines, not by copying some YouTuber's alpha body language, not by pretending to be heartless. Real respect starts in places nobody sees. When you're alone with your phone at 1 a.m. and you choose sleep instead of another 3 hours of numb scrolling. When you're broke and you decide to actually build skills instead of just complaining that the system is rigged. When you're tempted to stay with someone who clearly does not choose you and you walk anyway. That's the work. In therapy terms, this is called reparenting, becoming the adult your younger self needed. That younger self needed someone to say, "No, we don't tolerate being spoken to like that. No, we don't beg for crumbs. No, we don't shrink so other people can feel big." He didn't get that. So now it's your job. You don't have to become a monster. You don't have to become emotionally cold. You have to become precise. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is how I live. This is what I will walk away from, even if I still care. Boundaries are not walls to keep women out. They are the structure that keeps your self-respect in. Without that, every relationship becomes a slow erosion of your spine. If you want a concrete place to start, stop asking, "How do I make women respect me?" And start asking, "What do I do that I don't respect?" You already know. The messages you send when you said you wouldn't. The porn you watch to avoid dealing with loneliness. The promises you make to impress people that you have no intention of keeping. The hours you waste watching other men live while your own life sits on pause. Write them down, in detail, without excuses. That list is not there to humiliate you. It is your blueprint, because the moment you admit, "I do not respect this in myself," you open the door to something you haven't had in a long time. Choice. You can't change what you're still defending, so stop defending it. Stop defending your laziness. Stop defending your inconsistency. Stop defending your lack of standards as being chill. Stop defending your avoidance as not being dramatic. Call it what it is. Avoidance, cowardice, addiction to comfort, none of this makes you unworthy. It makes you untrained. Men talk about wanting a warrior life with a civilian tolerance for discomfort. It doesn't work like that. Respect is earned first by the way you suffer, whether you choose meaningful discomfort or keep drowning in meaningless distraction. Here is the paradox. The moment you truly commit to becoming a man you respect, regardless of whether anyone is watching, your obsession with whether women respect you begins to ease, because you stop relating to women as judges handing out grades for your masculinity. You relate to them as humans with their own nervous systems, their own trauma, their own stories. Some will be drawn to you, some won't. That's not a catastrophe, that's math. You are no longer trying to be the man every woman respects. That's fantasy. That's narcissism disguised as insecurity. You are becoming the man you respect. The man who can be told no without collapsing. The man who can be alone without dissolving. The man who can say, "This is not enough for me," without screaming, sulking, or begging. And here's what quietly happens when you do that. The wrong women fall away faster. The right ones feel safer around you, not because you're perfect, but because you are real. Your yes means yes. Your no means no. Your life starts matching your words. Women are not mystical creatures speaking a different language. They respond to coherence. Coherence between what you say, what you do, and what your body communicates. You cannot fake that long term. Either you build it, or you perform it until someone lives with you long enough to see the cracks. If you've watched or listened to this far, it already tells me something about you. People who are fully committed to staying the same don't sit through this. They click away. They go back to content that tells them it's everyone else. They go back to stories that leave them powerless but comfortable. You didn't. Some part of you, maybe a very quiet part, is tired of your own excuses. Tired of being the nice guy who finishes last because he never even entered the race. Tired of being the angry guy yelling about women on the internet while his own room, body, and life are falling apart. Tired of being the boy in a man's body, waiting for someone to come respect him first so he can finally start respecting himself. No one is coming, not your ex, not your future dream woman, not your parents, not your friends. You are the one who has to walk back into your own life and say, "It stops here." The self-abandonment stops here. The begging stops here. The blaming stops here. You will not become that man in a week, or a month, or by saving this video and never watching it again. You will become him every time you choose honesty over comfort, standards over desperation, growth over excuses. And yes, some people will leave when you do. Good. Respect is not built in rooms where you have to be small to be loved. You never learned this as a child. You weren't shown how to be a man who can be both kind and firm, both open-hearted and self-respecting. But you still have time. You don't control who respects you. You control who you are when nobody does. And if you start there, if you endure the loneliness of raising your standards, if you tolerate the discomfort of facing your own patterns without flinching, you'll look back one day and realize the question was never, "Why does no woman respect me?" The real question was, "Why did I spend so long refusing to become a man I could respect myself?"